Guys, today's topic is if you had to support another Premier League club, who would it be and why? You're with your boys, NJ and Marky Mark. Now, you all know I'm Arsenal. Mark is Chelsea. You'll want to stick around to the end of this one, guys, because I've got a funny feeling that we're both going to go a little left field here. Marky Mark, what are you saying, my man? You good?
What are you saying, Geezer? I'm all right. What are you saying? I'm eager to see who you're going to say. We have not prepped this. We haven't done any sort of research for this. It is just off the cuff. So, yeah, I actually have zero idea who you're going to say. You best not say West Ham, or maybe you might even say Chelsea. My days, come over to the decent side.
You'll have to wait.
Come over, bro.
You'll have
come
to wait.
over to the winner's side. Bro, come to Chelsea, man. You live in Chelsea.
This should be the
you
worst
want to be Chelsea.
time.
Mark Cucurella's your best friend. Bro, the stars are aligned. Come on, man. Chelsea.
Right.
All right, cool.
Before we get to me, I'm going to throw it to you, Mark. If you had to support another Premier League club, now I know you're an ardent Chelsea boy, who or which club would it be? Which way are you going? Hit us.
Manchester City.
Interesting.
Manchester City. Why would you think that I would pick Manchester City?
For the glory.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? I'm a glory hunter.
Tell you what though, Mark? The way I'm reading this, and I know we're going off the cuff here, and these are the best ones for me. I love going off the cuff here, but I'm seeing this as if you had to choose another club, you've had to then endure being a fan throughout their whole history, right? Not just the glory years.
No.
Okay.
No. Don't make assumptions about me.
I might have to change my my pick then.
No. Look, when I first started watching football, I'm in my early 40s, but I actually started watching football in my late teens. So around 2002 is when I really started watching football. And I remember I was with a bunch of friends, and all of them were. This is when the time when Roman Abramovich just come into the club. And all of my friends, I used to think that football was just a bunch of people kicking a football around. I thought it was boring. And then I was hanging around with my friends. They were all talking about football. One of them was a Chelsea fan. And all the other fans were completely ripping him. Yeah, again, you're a glory hunter. Oh, you like Chelsea because, they got money and stuff now. Because he also just started watching football at the same time as well. But for me, I like that idea. I think I have a rebellious sort of mentality. I like the fact that a club can come in and just take over and instantly start winning. Who wouldn't want to follow winners? When you have a look, I know I'm blabbing a bit, but if you have a look at the majority, if you ask the majority of people why they support specific teams, I support Liverpool. Why do they support Liverpool? Because when they first started watching Liverpool and football, Liverpool were winning. When people support Manchester United, why do you support Manchester United? Have you ever been to Manchester? No. But when they first started watching football, they were the winners. They were the champions. And that's how it most of the time was. I know you're Arsenal. You haven't won anything in God knows how long. You're a different type of breed. But basically, I supported Chelsea because everyone was hating on them. And they come in, everyone hated them. They had all the money and they were the favourites for winning the league. And I was like, bro, I'm Chelsea and I love blue. And that's why I support Chelsea. And the same thing applies to Manchester City. When they come in, everyone started hating them. And I was like, this gives that feeling of when I started watching football, when I became a Chelsea fan, everyone started hating on me. And they're blue. So I got that little bit of connection with them, a little bit of a soft spot for them. Did you think that's what I was going to say, Neely?
To be honest with you, I did have a bit of a feeling that you'll go City. I guess my question to you is, and this is the thing, because growing up, I've been watching football as a kid, right? Growing up, you know, it was either United or Liverpool on TV because they were the two most successful clubs. As soon as the Premier League started, Man United, the money came in when the Premier League started, right? And United became the poster boys, as Simon Jordan says, and he's absolutely bang on the money. And then you had the icons like Cantona, and then you had the class of 92 coming through, and United was a sexy club. When you started watching football in 2002, 2003, 2004, what made you not go Man United or even Arsenal? Because Man United and Arsenal were at that time the two most successful clubs.
As I said to you, everyone was hating on Chelsea. But it really was. I had the Chelsea fan there. This is the story, and it is a beautiful story. I think it's a beautiful story. And I'll tell it super quickly how I got into football. I was there with a bunch of friends, and we were watching one Chelsea game, and there was this guy called Sean Wright Phillips, who, of course, is the son of Ian Wright. And my Chelsea fan mate goes to me, do you know who that is? Ian Wright's son. They paid £24 million for him from Manchester City. That's like one of the highest transfers. And he's like, watch this kid play. And that was the first time Sean Wright Phillips, he was one of the first players that, as I told you, when you watch football, they used to like kick the ball around and like, I thought it was quite boring initially, but he used to take that ball and dribble with it and was doing some exciting stuff. Then he was like, look at Joe Cole. This kid is like Brazilian, the English Brazilian. He has got the skills. I was like, nah. And he was doing his Rabonas. He was doing all these types of skills. And that's how I got into Chelsea. And then I started looking at Ronaldinho. I started looking at all these other wicked players that played in all, and then I really got into football. So for all these reasons, that's why I did not go Arsenal, Manchester United. I did not want to follow the herd, right? And if Chelsea are the new kids on the block and they are the title favourites and they have all of these exciting players and they're buying the best players from all over the world, why wouldn't I want to support Chelsea? Why would I want to support Arsenal? Why would I want to support Manchester? I've never even been to Manchester. For me, that makes zero sense.
Yeah. All fair. No, I was just intrigued. I was intrigued as to why you landed on Chelsea. I think I had a clue anyway. I had an idea.
Yeah.
Because obviously you and I go way back. But it's just good to hear the inner workings of and the inner thoughts. So, all right. So you've kind of followed the blueprint. You'd go Man City because, let's face it, they've been the most successful team over the past decade and a bit. Fair?
Yeah, when they first came in with all this sort of money, they did a Chelsea. They started buying all the best players from all over the world. And I was like, this is so interesting. They were referred to as the noisy neighbours by Sir Alex. And I was like, come on, bro. They're going to be more than noisy neighbours. They do not look like... They look like they are going to be the main neighbour. Right, and now the noisy neighbours, Manchester United are not even the noisy neighbours. I don't know, they've left the building. They've left the country. They're just obsolete now. Yeah, you can Manchester City, Manchester United fans can't say nothing now. But yeah, they started coming with all this money. I remember when they bought Robinho, bro. I was like, under Mark Hughes, I was like, this is sick. Then they bought Yaya Touré and all these beasts, and I was like, this team is, and then Kevin De Bruyne. I was like, this team is going to be a force to reckon with. And when they first started coming in, the most anticipated battles for me was actually against Manchester City, because they're blue. They had all these wicked players, and yeah, other teams they've got wicked players as well. But my soft spot is for Manchester City. When Liverpool were challenging and when they won the title, when it was COVID years, I was disappointed, man. I was like, come on, Manchester City, you could have done. They are actually my second team. They're probably my second team because they're the team at this moment. They're the team at the moment where, well, not even at the moment. If I ever have to look forward to watching another Premier League team, it's always Manchester City. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's it. Right, there you go. Now, how about you? Drum roll.
I'm forever blowing bubbles, itty bubbles in the air. They fly so high, they reach the sky. Yeah, I'm going West Ham, mate. Your gut instinct was probably that I'd go West Ham. Now, I'm going to give you my thought process and how I landed on West Ham. Let me go through the other options. I thought of this as like, what would be the best feeling as a football fan if I had to choose another Premier League club to support. I even thought about Leicester City because of that 2016 iconic moment, one of the greatest moments in Premier League history. And the reason why I didn't stop on them is because it's one season. So I would have been supporting City for that whole one moment, and then it's come and gone. But I think the reason why I actually thought about that was because that was actually insane. They were about to get relegated in 2015, and they somehow stayed up, and they had, I think it was Nigel Pearson, And he kept him up, and there was a big old party, and he was actually going to be the manager going into the 2016 season. However, he got caught on camera talking or doing drugs or something like that. It's basically the end of his career. Ranieri has always been that likable guy, but no one ever took him too seriously, albeit he did finish second because he was your first manager under Abramovich.
That's right.
And
That's
he
right.
did finish second to Arsenal in 2004. Obviously, he replaced him with Jose. The rest is history. And so we were thinking, okay, well, Leicester, they'd stayed up by the skin of their teeth previous season. They're going to go down, surely. And they just started winning games. And Vardy is scoring every game. 5 games in a row, 6, 7,
12
8,
games in a
9, 10, 11. Breaks the Van Nistelrooy's record. It lands on 11 or 12. And it was just insane. And then you saw the likes of Kante and Mahrez and, Big Wes Morgan did a job. And I was thinking that is absolutely nuts as a Leicester City fan. If you're a Leicester City fan, imagine the journey you go on at the end of 2015 to stay up. That's a massive high. And then you go on that journey of 2016. I mean, we saw Gary Lineker go on it, right? But that I thought, I still believe is one of the most incredible moments and possibly the most incredible season of all time. So I thought about Leicester City, but then I was thinking, well, actually, I'm only living for that one season. Then I landed the same as you, Man City. And I was thinking, why Man City? Because you get to live that Aguero moment. Aguero! That, I actually found it incredible watching that. The hairs on my arms and on the back of my neck were standing up. And I'm a gooner. Imagine being Man City. You've never won the Premier League, and that is your first Premier League title. It was insane. And I think even just talking about it now, you think, yeah, that would be incredible. You know what? Maybe Man City might be the option. But the way I thought about it was like, okay, well, I'd have to have supported Man City this whole time. I'd have had to go down to League Two and so forth and so forth. So then I thought, right, just be loyal. As you know, I spent a lot of time in East London. West Ham for many years of my life were the local team, the local club. I used to go there and watch a few games, and I like their songs. So clearly, I thought, right, let be loyal. I know I don't live in East London anymore, but I was there for a big part of my life, and they were the local team. So that's how I landed on West Ham. Having said that, as I'm walking through the Man City explanation, I'm thinking I might just switch here. Because Man City, and now you got Pep as well. One thing you said there, Mark, you said that City are the team you look forward to watching the most outside of Chelsea. What about, listen, I know we don't like them, but what about Liverpool under Klopp? Did you enjoy watching
Liverpool under Klopp?
Did you enjoy?
Yeah, I did. No.
Really?
No. Liverpool during the Klopp era, they clearly, for me, played this, what did they call it? The gung-ho football. All action defending, all action attacking.
The Gegenpress, just rocket, like heavy metal football.
Heavy metal football, the Gegenpress. I do like Klopp. And I like the way that he, not just that he manages. I like a bit of a hug all the time, not to get bummed, but I do like a little bit of a hug. And I like to see that connection between the manager and his players on a physical type of sexy level. And he's the only one who did that. Could you ever imagine like Pep Guardiola doing that? Well, he probably did, but he probably couldn't even help it. But I am a big fan of Klopp, but that doesn't mean I'm a big fan of the cop. Okay. In fact, Liverpool are my worst team ever. I've got dozens of Liverpool fans, and you know what? As much as I love them, respectfully, they are all a bunch of tossers. The stuff that comes out of their mouth is ridiculous. It's illegal. They're biased in their voice and in their mentality. It annoys me. And it annoys me more and more to the point where I can officially say there's only 2 clubs I hate in football. It's Liverpool and it's Arsenal. Yeah? I'm not even mentioning Manchester United. They're not even worth my breath. But Liverpool and Arsenal, and you know why? It's because they're fans. They're all a bunch of plonkers. I'm looking at one right now. Look at your face. You look stupid supporting Arsenal. I hope I'm opening your eyes here, Neely.
Never, bro. Listen, I'll always be a gooner. You'll always be a blue, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And I get it. Every club has stupid fans, and Arsenal get a lot of stick. fans wise, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to stick with West Ham as well. They've got great fans. But there's annoying fans at every club, right? You've got the Chelsea rent boys. You've got Liverpool. I agree with you. Everything that you've said, by the way, I agree with you on the Liverpool piece. I, for that reason, couldn't support them. But I just found it interesting that you said Cities were the team that you preferred watching.
How about...
Go on. What are you going to say?
No, bro, sorry to interrupt. How about supporting Chelsea, bro? You know you love the Chelsea story. You know you love the Chelsea story, bro. And they're also in London. And you live in London. And you've met Mark Cucurella's now your best friend. You go drinking with him. You love a bit of Marky. Come on.
It's the closest stadium to my house. And it is probably the last team I'll ever support. If there was no other teams in the world, I would just choose a different sport. I'd be a Fulham fan before I'm a Chelsea fan. There's just no
How about a Liverpool fan?
Way.
Would you rather be a Liverpool fan or a Chelsea fan? Now, this is going to determine our friendship. Yeah, you better think carefully.
I can't. Listen, that's just like, it's like what Gary Neville said. It's like, who do you want to choose between, you know, who's sleeping with your wife, your neighbour, or, you know, your best mate? I can't choose. They're both scummy clubs. I don't really want to. I don't really want to choose. I'll stick with West Ham. What I will say though is the teams I have enjoyed watching over the years in the Premier League. You've got the initial United team when Cantona was there. I love watching Wenger's Arsenal, obviously, and I'm not just saying that because I'm being biased. That Invincibles team was great to watch, but I also love watching the 97-98 team at Petit Vieira and Overmars. We used to counter so quickly. Then you've got, I never really enjoyed watching Jose's Chelsea, but you've got the United with the Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez. And then after that, I've got to say, it's Klopp's Liverpool. I do love watching them, but like you, I could never support them for the exact reasons you gave. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with West Ham. Good fans, good lads. I know a few, and it's always good to go drinking with them. And come rain or shine, you know, win or lose, they'll have a laugh, and they've got great banter. So,
they do.
I'm going to stick and be loyal and be my local club for many, many years. I'm going to stick with West Ham. You're sticking with City, I guess.
Obviously, yeah. There's no one else. I'm not supporting anyone else. I can't support anyone else. I just wouldn't support anyone else.
Here's one thing. You mentioned, obviously, when I was supporting Arsenal, we were winning before I started supporting Arsenal, and then during we had a period of 97 to 2005, right? We were winning and we were a top team. And you're right, we haven't won anything of note, really, like a Premier League or a Champions League for 20 plus years. This is going to be interesting because you chose Chelsea and you chose right because you were proven right. You actually went on the most successful 20-year period any club seen in Premier League history. Now, you haven't won a title since 2017, and I don't think you're going to win it next season. It'll be interesting to watch you over the next few seasons. If you start emulating, I feel like part of me feels like you're at the start of where Arsenal's journey was after 2004, where you'll be a top team, but you might not win stuff for a while. But it's been 8 years, and I think it'll be 9 unless you win it next season. So I'm interested to see how you boys get on and how you feel about Chelsea in 5 years' time if you win nothing. Let's see.
I will still support. You know what it is? It's too late now.
Exactly.
I'm such a football
it's in your
fan.
blood.
I'm such a Chelsea. It's in my blood now, geezer.
Exactly.
Even if they got demoted to like the first, like I don't know, the Championship and League One and stuff, I just am Chelsea through and through now. There's nothing that can change that.
Exactly.
And you know what, geezer? If I did change it, I think you should be worried about having me as a friend, because that's a little bit crazy. You can't support a team for 20 years and go, oh my God. To be fair, we have a pal like that. We call him the Darling. And I think he could be like that. I think he's a Chelsea fan. And I think that he could like jump ship and switch over probably to West Ham, because that's also his second team.
I think he'll stop watching football. He's so Chelsea. Like, look, we're all ardent fans. Like, exactly for the reasons you said, right? Like, you're saying, oh, Neil, you know, I know you're saying it tongue in cheek. Like, come over to the dark side, Chelsea. Obviously, you know, I can't. I'm Arsenal. I'll always be Arsenal.
No,
You'll always be Chelsea. Yeah. It's in our blood, right?
Yeah.
Our boy, the Chelsea fan, he's so Chelsea. It still ruins it. I mean, we're in our late 30s, early 40s now, right? And it still ruins his his weekends if Chelsea don't win. And I think if Chelsea got relegated, I think he'd pack in football. He'd be so depressed. I think he'd be super depressed. Same as some of our Liverpool mates. But guys, let us know what you think in the comments. We want to know your thoughts. As I said at the start of this podcast, I am Arsenal. Mark is Chelsea. Mark, second team, if he had to support a different Premier League team, has gone Man City. I've gone West Ham. We want to know your thoughts. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Arsenal, Chelsea fans, are you disgusted with what we've just said? Are you disgusted at our commentary? Let us know in the comments. Mark, I'm going to kick it over to you to take us home.
Appreciate you guys here to the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of our content, click this video right here and we see you good people in the next one. Peace, guys. Nice one.